Onto the part of Jack Free. This time we'll be going forward with some missions, but first, side stuff. For instance, I did indeed miss these curse orbs up here beforehand, and I'm gonna get them right now. This one's a little awkward because it starts off you going zigzag a lot, but then it ends up with you having to make some high jumps, which a little awkward to pull off. The first one, not that bad. Second one, really difficult to time, but yeah. I do get that one eventually, though, don't worry. It just had me a second attempt to do so. And, yeah, then I go forward to actually doing the main mission. So, we got a whole bunch of items last time, but now we must go back to the forest and, do some more stuff, I guess. And that stuff just so happens to be these things that are here now. Why are these here? What are these things? Why are they coming out of the ground? No fucking idea. But once they're activated by hitting them, well, now time to go through rings. And if you don't go through the rings, it's, mission failed. Now, this one can be a little mean. And it's mean in the fact that you can't really tell where it's gonna go. Like right there. You couldn't really tell that was going to happen. And mission failed. So yeah, it's gonna happen a few times where you're going to fail the mission because the game's going to fuck with you on the angling and everything and the movement of this trail, which isn't gonna be that reliable because the game just loves to make really tight bullshit turns behind walls and such. Just to block your viewpoint and screw you up. So, yeah, you're gonna get screwed a lot, because... man, I'm not a fan of this mission because of this. It has thrown me for loops a few times. The first time I played it, I failed the mission at least 5 times. And every other time I play this, I usually fail this mission about 2 or 3 times, because the trail is literally that much of a problem. So I've already failed once, that was the first one. Which is the lowest for the ones I usually screw up on. Like this one right here isn't too bad. It's very straightforward for the most part of this one here, so I don't have any problem with this. But the first one give me a run for my money because of the turns. But I believe the third one is much worse. The third and I think last one are the worst ones when it comes to this mission here, because they make you do some shitty things. But I will say that second one there is the only one where I do not fail at all. Like, I do get that one all the time, the second one, but every other one of these I have actually failed the other 4 at least once. For this one, it's because it puts you up some hills that require that big jump you saw there, but the game doesn't tell you that. And I'm making you note that right now. That doesn't tell you you can make the big jump, that you can just touch the jump and make a jump from that on this one. Even though you must do that. But after that, then you get halfway through and she wants to go left, and then you start going for these parts, and you're thinking, okay, it's going to trail me all around, right? No. It's going to make a trail, and then it's going to give you a complete juke right fucking there. It's going to make you think it's going to go straight for just a little bit of a second, and then jukes left. This one is the dickish one. This is the most dickish one of all, honestly. But once you realize that, then you can take care of the last 2 there. But that one fucks me almost every time. Unless I completely remember where every portal is going to be and what trick it's going to do, which I'm not. It's going to screw me. And yeah, now we get into the next one, which isn't too bad. until the ending portal for this one here. So first of all, it's the only one that's on a rock in the water area, not on the ground. And it starts off just like going for the water, and most of it is around the water. The problem with the last one though, because in order to actually complete this and get the last portal, you have to jump for it. Now for the most part, you're seeing that it's a trail, so you can just kind of ride it along. Not a huge problem so far. Time is a bit strict though, but there's enough for you to handle it. And it isn't being too much of a problem, you can tell where it's going to go. The problem is the last bit, because the rocks that you're going to be coming into will bump you up so high, you will actually go over the fucking portal, and you won't have enough time to actually get back over. The game's going to do that to you, so jump, and it won't fuck you. If you don't jump, you'll bump the rocks, it'll make you fly over the portal, and you're not going to get down that run. You are not going to get there fast enough to not screw up. You are going to fail. It's a mean one. But not as mean as this one, which starts you off having to jump to get that portal. Now, if you're patient, you'll notice it. But you probably haven't been patient the entire time. You're probably getting on the board immediately at this point, knowing how it's all going to work out. And then they do that right at you. Oh, man. But then it gets worse, because then you start going for the same shit, and you're starting to think, oh god, it's going to trick me again. It doesn't. But it does try to make you think it's going to juke you. Because it goes by a bit fast here to make you fuck up there. And then it gives you a tutorial bit on how to launch jump. Which you probably have been doing already. Which is insulting. Like, what the fuck? And yeah. Fun times there. Real fucking fun times there. And there you go. Now all I gotta do is get up on these, which will launch up into the air, and that's it. Once at the top, a cutscene will play, and that is the mission over and done with.
Approach the Astro Viewer, Time Warrior. Behold the seed of our destruction.
What? Let me see! Is she hot?
We precursors built many worlds across the universe, shaping them with eco into something good. But we were foolish. The Dark Makers were once precursors, but their exposure to dark eco changed them. They began twisting worlds, conquering life, and dark ages ensued. Now the Dark Ones have found your world and are coming to claim it for themselves.
Well, I could ruin your whole day!
I think this one's bigger than both of us.
There is but one hope left. You will find a planetary defense system hidden deep at the core of the planet. There is still a chance to save your world. I hope you are more successful than many planets whose fate has already been closed.
Well, that's not ominous. That's not ominous at all.
This is as we feared. We must get into those catacombs before that ship reaches this planet.
Uh-huh. Well, we're done here at least, so let's leave. Obviously we got another mission waiting for us, and yeah, that was also kind of confusing, how we were looking into basically the enemy's spaceship, and for some reason the precursor was there as well, just like looking into us and shit, and being all ominous and creepy. And yeah, so far these guys haven't sounded the most friendly. They've honestly been sounding like villains as well. So yeah, a lot of fun there. Let's leave, shall we? Because now we have to go all the way over the entirety of Haven City to get back into this water area in order to do another main mission. Also this.
Find this spot fast. Good luck.
I am basically cutting out a good few minutes to get here. It's a long drive. And by the way, this one here, finding this sucks.
Tough one, huh? Wanna shuffle your feet?
Did you find it? Did you figure it out? I didn't for a few attempts, and then I noticed right in front of me, that little glow.
Excellent. You did it.
It looks the same as all the other ground, didn't it? It didn't really make much sense there. Also, this one.
Here's another get-to challenge. Time's counting.
Yeah, this one's more obvious. But that last one, that was one of the more tougher ones to find because it's not immediately obvious where it is. It's not obvious at all. It's actually kind of confusing.
Good work. You're looking like the hero I remember.
Well, there you go. Now I have it. So now we're going to go up onto the elevator and we're going to see what the mission is now. Now that we know all this information and we saw the telescope and saw the aliens and shit, now we're going to see what we're going to do next, which, I have no idea what we're going to be doing next, but I'm sure they have a plan for us. Right?
We got a big one this time, Jack. That decoder you found helped us decipher the gate key for the main KG war factory. We can get inside now, and we need our best people on the raid.
Oh, gee. I wonder who that might be.
There is a good chance that factory is doing more than just making deathbots.
I want to know who's behind it all. How are so many deathbots being made? Where are they getting the supplies in the eco? Something about this doesn't seem right.
Yeah, right into the hornet's nest. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, remind me when to laugh.
That is a confusing line, Daxter. Doesn't make any sense, the line that Jack said. Anyway, we are now going to be going into a thing to go, you know, infiltrate some shit, and also the area is right behind us. It is in the same building on the other side. Why couldn't it just be them going to it automatically instead of having me waste time going all around the building just to go and get this cutscene? Fuck you, that's why. Have a cutscene. That took a while up the cutscene. Anyway, now we're going to be doing this shit. So we're in this ship, which is kind of awkward to fly about in. It's a bit floaty, but also doesn't follow the camera at all, and it acts really weird. And it's also really loose on turns, so it can be a little hard to predict where you're turning. And you're also kind of a bumper car. You'll be bumping around real heavily. Now your goal here is to shoot these lights. You have rockets which can do that. You'll be wanting to keep them though, just in case, because you'll be wanting them for something else. But you can use them, and they can be of use, just not right now is all. Also, they can kamikaze us, they can shoot at us. We don't have that much health, as you saw I'm already like 1/4 of the way down. But for the most part, it's basically just go around, find the lights, and shoot them. It starts off with all the lights being basically here, in these areas. Then they pop them up on the walls. I don't know why. I don't know why they're now popping up more of these all so suddenly out of fucking nowhere like this. But they did. And now we're destroying them. And you can kind of see, like, the holes close into nothing. They just kind of disintegrate. The design of this mission is weird. I have no fucking answers for you. I have no questions for you. I have no logic for you of this one. The whole logic is that you're going around basically causing a ruckus and destroying shit in order to lower the shields and all, I guess, and get inside. But the very layout of this area is a mess. And I don't even know where exactly we are. We're kind of up in the sky, floating about. You can see all of Haven City around us. You can kind of see, like, the islands that we've kind of been to. Like, you can see in the distance, well, it might look like Misty Island, maybe, and or it might look like the Snowy Mountains and such, and all that. You can look around and notice all of this. See? There's the Snowy Mountains right there. So, it looks like it connects. It looks like it all connects. And I believe over there is the forest, which we can't really access for some reason now. Yeah, the design of not only the inside, but the background makes no sense considering what we've been seeing so far. Also, we're now destroying these things, which are guns. And they also have life points right in front of them to take a few shots. But if one bomb shot can kill them in one hit, then use the bombs. And it's only 4 of them. And it's really easy. And once they're destroyed, then that's the mission. You get a cutscene that just leads to you exiting. So, yeah, that's it. And now we're inside. So now that we're inside of here, we now have to do a bit of an infiltration thing, going through the level and, you know, beating it. So, we just have to go inside and destroy everything, right? That's the goal. You know, to find the leader and destroy everything, kill him and all. And we already kind of know who the actual main enemy is, Errol. We already saw him a few times in this game. So, yeah, our goal here is to just, you know, figure this shit out, destroy all the robots, all the Crimson Guards, and I guess find Errol and kill him. For good. Because those Dark Eco bombs he drove into back in Jak 2, they weren't enough to kill the motherfuckers somehow. I guess he had enough willpower to, you know, avoid complete death. I don't know how that works, but there you go. Also, you're thinking, oh, I can just slow time to go for the fans, right? Because that's how it worked beforehand. No! Slowdown does not have any use anymore. Instead, your goal here is actually to use Daxter to go inside of a fucking pipe. They want to use Daxter more, obviously, so they're going to be making you use him in very, very small segments just to hit a switch, to turn off or on something or whatever, and then go back to Jak immediately and continue on. These segments do not last long, and it's just pointless, really. Like, yeah, it's great that Daxter's getting more time, but at the same time, it's stuff that you could have used the abilities that we have of Jak with. Like the time slowing thing, we could have used that in order to jump through the fan. But no, the time save thing there, the slowdown thing is just worthless now. Also, that timing sucks. The timing on this platform is actually kind of awkward because the moving platform and such. You figure it out by just going when it's going up to you, then you're fine. Anyway, moving on forward, we now have to destroy a whole bunch of these robots, a whole bunch of the Crimson Guards, and then we can move on forward to another pipe that Daxter has to go inside and give us the way forward for, which requires me to do some more grappling bullshit on some stuff. You can tell that Naughty Dog has a hard time not being Crash anymore, like not trying to have all the Crash stuff they're used to, because this is basically the Crash stuff. You know, hanging above some grates or whatever, sort of climbing about, having an orange marsupial do it, and also having some obstacles like lasers and shit get in the way that you have the time for. That is all Crash Bandicoots. It's hard not to go back to your old ways, but at the same time, I mean...
Hello, sidekick. Let's move.
Of course. But at the same time, you could probably kind of guess that maybe the developers want to do something different with Jack. You know, but I'm also guessing they want this to be the even side of both the guns and the platforming. Even though, in all honesty, this game has less platforming than Jak 2. I mean, think about it. What have you been doing, for the most part, in this entire game? You've been driving. You haven't done much of this action, but you also haven't been doing much platforming throughout this game. Majority of it has been the driving. So why in the fuck are they still relying on the platforming stuff so heavily with the Crash Bandicoot stuff? And why are they giving us all these abilities and such when they're not even going to really utilize it? Like the light jack thing, at this point in the game, is almost completely fucking useless. Even Dark Jack is useless now. Because you have all these guns that just overpower all these Dark Jack abilities you have, because they're so much more useful than using Dark Jack. And another pipe's right here. So what has been the fucking purpose of any of this? Also fire. Remember the fire that we had to dodge in fucking Jak and Crash, you know, that shit? Yeah, that's back too. They're reusing stuff they've already done in the past, but they want to move on to the future, right? They don't really want to move on from, like, the fucking, like, they don't want to actually reuse shit from their Crash days at this point. They want Jak to be its own thing, so why are they still bringing this up with Daxter? Considering he has the same color code as Crash. And for fuck's sake, if you want to give Daxter more time and effort here, why these small segments that are so fucking forgettable? Also, another pipe right in front of us after that one. So many cutscenes and pipe things just to pad out time, really. It doesn't work with this level or this game. It just feels like it's extending the time limit with something completely bullshit. Like it doesn't feel right. It doesn't flow right with this game. It just feels forced. And even though I like Jak 3 more than I like Jak 2, the reason I don't like Jak 2 so much over 3 is because Jak 2 is so bullshit with difficulty, whereas Jak 3 is in the middle. Its difficulty isn't that bad, it's in a nice medium. But the Jak 3's problem is that it has a consistency problem, where it wants the platforming, but it also wants the guns, but it also wants the driving. And guess what? There's driving in this level as well, because in order to get through to the actual end of this, there's a car here. and we must use this car to go all the way to the exit. And it has some boosts for us. It has infinite boosts for us. Like, you can see where the inconsistency problem happens, right? It's using all three segments, but they don't flow together. They don't actually work together. If anything, they're all just kind of on their own spots. And in a way, the platforming is just completely fucking up the pacing of this level and making things go slower, go longer than it needs to be. And you get to this, and you're driving for all the platforming segments, and it's also awkward, and they give you a boost, but you don't want to use the boost, because then you'll get fucked, because the platforming exits are so weird in their jumps and such, and the driving doesn't work on those spots. The whole level here, and the way it's made, is terrible. We made it through now, and now we're going to a boss fight, which also takes some segments from Crash, but at the same time, is also really awkward and also really bad.
I found some new friends to help me conquer this puny little planet.
You're talking to the Dark Makers.
It seems my digital self can communicate with these poor, tortured minds quite well. Oh, they're just like you and me, Jack. Well, me at least. They want a home, someone to call a friend. Destruction of all light ego! They volunteered to help me put this puny planet out of its misery.
You're in for a big surprise. The Dark Makers don't play nicely with others. Just ask the Metalheads.
I've been given the opportunity to wield a power even the precursors could not control. Don't fret. You won't live to see what I turn this little world into. Maybe a rock, or a floating puddle of slag, or nothing at all. Complete oblivion! So hard to choose.
I won't let you do this!
And this is it. This is the Errol robot boss fight. And it's just this. Move around and dodge all of the explosives that he throws at you. Then you fight his minions, which will pop out. Use your yellow gun, your ricochet gun. It's the best gun to use in this boss fight. I'm not joking. And then eventually he'll shoot out these rocket bots. Well, the rocket bots are supposed to fuck you because they must be bombs, but they're rockets. So if you just shoot at them, they'll go and, like, knock into Errol from above. Like so. Now after that, he'll start throwing some other stuff. He'll start throwing some wave bombs at you. So you gotta jump over those. But then eventually, he'll just start throwing a whole bunch of bombs to destroy parts of the floor. Which is random on what kind of the floor he destroys. But yeah, your goal here is just to avoid falling, avoid getting killed, get rid of all the robots, and, you know, kill him with a few shots. Which that rocket took out a quarter of his health, so obviously 4 hits and that's it. Now the game is giving me a whole bunch of the blue ammo, and I do end up using the blue ammo, but it is just to show you that the blue ammo does not help you here. In fact, all other guns from this point forward are useless. Your only useful gun for this boss fight is the yellow gun with the ricochet. Because it's such a small, compact room, really, that all you need to do is just keep doing this, and it will kill everything. And not only that, it automatically goes for these rockets, and automatically keeps them in the place of where Errol is. I'm being serious when I say that 100% of the time, the rockets are kept in place as long as I automatically start shooting the ricochet bullets all around when the rockets are appearing. Sure, it will bump it around a little bit, but it will always keep it in a place where Errol will get hit. If I use any other gun, I have to direct the fucking thing right to where he is, which I might miss on. If I use the fucking yellow gun for the ricochet, I never end up missing. I have never seen anyone miss a rocket by abusing the fucking yellow ricochet shots on the rockets. It's always just been like, boom, done. And by the way, there is a unique enemy for this one. But yeah. Anyway, there is one thing to this. And it is that it is taking notes from the bosses of Crash. Particularly in the fact that it's mainly just run around and dodge throwables. This is mainly like an embryo cortex thing, you know? They're mainly the ones that did this shit. It ain't, you know, the most fun, and I do believe this is more challenging than a few of those. But yeah. Also, here are the dark eco metalhead things, I guess. They're very easy to take care of. They can fly, they can go around the ground, they can kind of have shields sometimes, but for the most part they're very easy and they go down real quickly here, and that's it. That's the Errol boss fight. Hope you had fun, guys.
Damn, he got away.
See you later, Mechanator. Jack, the sky is falling. We took it to that robot goon and kicked his nuts and bolts.
Errol got away, but we shut down his robot factory.
That's good, but it is troubling to see what Errol is doing. I fear he may be trying to awaken that terrible dark ship before we can destroy it.
Onan says the precursors and dark makers have fought over worlds for as long as time has turned. It would not be the first time a planet was lost to those monsters.
Well, it's not gonna be this planet. We've lasted this long. We've just gotta find a way to destroy that thing. The truth lies at the bottom of the catacombs. That's where I need to go.
And that's it. So that's the end of this part, really, when you get down to it, because there's a lot of cutscene there, wasn't there? The problem is, however, we can't just, like, continue with this. We can't just, like, end it there, unfortunately.
Jack, please help us. Errol is attacking the Monk Temple. He wants the secrets we have kept concerning the Dark Makers. Please hurry. If we learn what he seeks, it could undo this world.
Yeah, see, there's a bit more. So, we have to go to the desert, take care of some stuff, but, first of all, we did get a new gun, which essentially slows down time. Also got the unlimited vehicle turbos. Problem is, you don't get to upgrade it, so that's as much as it can go. And also, we got a model view, we got a scene player, we got that, you know, we got some good stuff. So, next time, I'm gonna jump cut, next time, in Jack 3, going back to the Wastelands, and we're going to essentially go to the temple and do some rescuing, I guess. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.